Oh, looks like we're live. Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. Hope everyone's had a good week so far. We're almost at the weekend, and it is once again time for the Hack Show. And tonight on the Hack Show, we got a very, very special guest, someone that we all know, someone that I'm sure has made everyone in here laugh pretty hard because he's a super funny dude. And I've been dying to get this guy on, and fortunately, tonight's the night. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Crowbar. There he is. And now, what? Are we ready for the big reveal? One more? How many mats you got, man?
It's stuck.
Oh, shit. There he is. It's Crowbar. Hey, buddy, how are you? There you go.
I don't know if that came through.
No, it came through. That was pretty good, man. That was good.
Okay, let me get the chat up here.
All right, get the chat up. I'm going to go to the top of the chat, and I'm going to just say hello to a bunch of people. We got 34 people in here already, which is awesome. Let me just say hello to everybody. We got Headstock Harem is here. Welcome. Paul Lou, Merrill J, nice to see you. R2R3's here. Awesome. There's Bruce. Cool, man. Nice to have you guys here. There's Hank Hill, Guitar Bazaar. Glenn is here. Super, man. Super. Lefty Mike. Ricky Compton is in the house. Thrash is here. Wow, man. You guys all piled in. Awesome. Original Paramutant. Oh, someone new to the channel. Will Flassus, welcome. I'm just going down here. Oh, man. And there's the first jump of the evening. Okay. I hate when the chat jumps. Then I got to start all over again. Okay, let me get back up here, man. Oh, man. Who would ever jump? Okay. Oh, the Quentin is in here. Hey, Quentin woke up. Awesome. Alan Robinson, nice to see you. Sandra, welcome. Dwight Bailey is here. John Harden is here. Awesome. Thanks, guys, for showing up. Really appreciate it. There's Jack the Rabbit. Wanted 31, Marco's Images. Nice to see you. BC Rich 581. There's Thomas Santiago. Joe Hervey is here. Russ Markard, welcome. Upside Down is here. Six String Stanger, nice to see you. There's Half Face. There's Gary Tholander. James Severin, welcome, guys. Zim's Guitars is here. Hugh Caldwell, and it jumped on me again. Spencer Cron. All right. If I've missed anyone, I apologize. The chat is jumping like a mamma jamma. So if you guys have any comments, please tag me, and I'll pass those on. Dale Palmer is here, saying hello to everyone. Mitch Heyman is here. Awesome. Thanks, guys. 57 of you and watching. This is awesome. So how's it going, Krelbar?
Very good. Very good. Just want to let people know that I won't be able to type in the chat. I'm actually not signed in on this computer, and I can't remember what my password is. So.
No worries. Yeah, so if anyone's got any questions, they can tag me. Bobby Lopes is here. Music Therapy Laz, latest Guitar Daddy. Pete Hickson, Jimmy Biter, Christian Kushmick. Oh, my God. Robbie Johnston. Dave's Guitar Channel.
Oh, Dave's here.
Dave's here.
Yo, awesome. Dave.
Awesome. Cool, man. Got a lot of people in here. So, Crowbar, we've been talking a ton off air. So let's start at the very beginning, shall we?
Yep.
What got you playing music? What got you interested? Who were your guys that made you want, or gals that made you want to play?
Okay, this is kind of an involved question because I have this ridiculous memory. I think you all know that by now. I still remember seeing when Hendrix died when I was like 2 years old on TV, and him smashing. You know, they were doing like they were doing like a program on Hendrix,
Right.
you know, after he passed away, and they showed the Monterey thing, him smashing a guitar.
Yeah.
And so that was an influence right there. And, you know, a lot through the 70s, I listened to Hendrix a lot. When I play, you won't see a Hendrix influence at all, but that inspired me to actually pick up a guitar.
Right.
Eddie Van Halen too, also. And what really thrust me into it, I picked up kind of late. I picked up when I was like 16, and I had been playing bass for 2 years, and before that, for 4 years, tuba. But that's another story. But anyways, so when I picked it up, I mean, that's when Yngwie came out and all that stuff, and I just hit the ground running, and I tried playing fast right from the beginning. I had no phrasing, no nothing, and I operated on that for a while. I kind of took to it pretty well. I've improved that over the years and stuff. Yeah, those are my main influences and stuff. And you know, spattered in there, it was like, you know, Steve Howe. I listened to Yes when I was younger. In early '80s, I listened to everything. I mean, from '80 to '84, the mixture of music was awesome. I mean, like, you know, I was into Devo, a lot of new wave bands and stuff, Soft Cell, all those things, and Human League. But at the same time, I was listening to prog rock, and also my favorite band's Queen, and so I was into them. So I was all over the map, and you know, most of my friends, they latched on to their one thing, where they like Rush, Van Halen, or those type of music and stuff, and they just listened to that. And I wasn't really listening to jazz or anything back then, but you know, by time I graduated high school, I was a lot more into jazz, because I was in a jazz band in high school, and we went from playing some really old standards to like you know, some newer, hipper stuff, and yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. That's me in a nutshell. Look at me, I'm in a nutshell.
Well, you know, like you started at the time where you had to be like right off the bat. You naming guys like Yngwie, like that was where you had to be fast. That was the criteria, right? It was all about how quick can you play, and how many exotic scales do you know? That was kind of like that was it at that time, right?
Oh, believe me, I'm a lazy. I was talking with you about this earlier. Well, yesterday. I'm a very lazy guitar player. I never sat down practice. Maybe, you know, there was sometimes I did and stuff. It was like osmosis or something like that. You know, it's like I listened to a lot of music. I played with a lot of people and stuff, and it just kind of sunk in. And what I did is I found shortcuts. The thing, you know, my picking hand, I can't pick every note and stuff like that. I kind of worked on a little, but it's like, so I actually, by mistake back then, I discovered circular picking, because you know I do the Yngwie 4 like that,
Right.
and I automatically start sweeping and, you know, turn my finger in a circular motion and stuff. And then I saw these shredders like Michelangelo Badio and all that, and Yngwie, he didn't really, well, he kind of did it sometimes, but I thought, oh, you got to keep it rigid. So I thought I was doing it wrong the whole time. So I tried changing that. And so, yeah, it was a mess. A lot of misinformation out there.
Well, there was no information out there. It's like, you know, you go by the guy makes a video or something, right?
Hey, look at me.
Yeah. By the end of this video, you'll be able to do this. Yeah, bullshit. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I remember I entertained the thought of singing one time, and I got the Jim Gillette singing course. So, you know, I'm doing the one that they and all this stuff. But you watch the video, the guy's just so comical. You know, it's like he's like a cartoon giving singing lessons.
Right. We got a whole whack of more people, so let me just quickly say hello to some more people that showed up. BB Mate is here. Welcome. Who else did I see here? Dan Beck. Nice to see you. Electric Gypsy Blues. How's it going? Thank you all so much for popping in. Okay.
Yeah, upside down. The Boston accent mixed with Rhode Island. Yeah, but I don't park the car. I do say, I don't say Boston, I say Boston. And I actually pronounce my R's.
Hugh
So
Cole.
sometimes I do the Boston accent when I'm just really relaxed and I just do it as a joke and I say, yeah, get out of here, you know.
Yeah. Oh, when you're a bunch of, I don't know if you're like me, but when I'm around a bunch of people that have a certain accent, I automatically start picking it up. I don't know why.
Yeah, I remember that little thing when you went down south. And
oh, that was brutal, man. I couldn't shake that damn thing. I was coming all the way home. Like, God, I got to start speaking Canadian before I hit the border. They're going to throw me back over. That was bad.
Well, I've been told too that people think that I'm from down south too, a transplant, because while I have the accent and everything, I do have kind of a drawl. I kind of have, I think I sound retarded, to tell you the truth, but it's like, yeah, everyone thinks that when they hear their voice. Actually, I think I'm normal when I try doing voices other than my own. But
yeah. Six String Brian is here. How's it going? All right. Metalhead Hippie, welcome. Oh, yeah. So, Quentin, learn how to drive when in Kentucky. Yeah, the only thing I remember about Kentucky is getting hit rear-ended by somebody. Drive all the way down to Nashville, no incidents until I get across the Kentucky border, and there it is, just anyway. And there's Brian S. Stop blaming your Nashville accent on people from Ohio. I know, really.
Yeah, Alan Robinson, he says, I'm definitely not a Southerner. Yeah, I know, but hey, I get mistaken for it up here. It's like when it comes to the accent, it's like I'm at the real low level of the accent. Yeah, I worked with people that, oh my God, they're just typical Boston thing. And they're the ones that say, you're not from around here.
Yeah. what was your first guitar, Krell?
First guitar. Well, I had been wanting a guitar and my parents never really got me one. I had wanted one since I was like 8. And then finally they got sick of listening to me bellyache. And they got me a Harmony acoustic.
Oh,
but they gave it to me with no lessons. Okay, here you go. Here's a guitar. So I just sit there plunking around on it and stuff, couldn't do anything, no information out there. So lost interest. And my brother started hanging around with some of his friends, and they did play guitar, and he taught him bar chords and stuff like that. So he picked up my Harmony at home, and he was, playing songs, bar chords and stuff. I thought that was cool. At the time, I had picked up bass and stuff. And so after that, he decided to get himself a guitar. So he got a Hondo, like Explorer copy.
Mm-hmm. And
so one day I just picked it up and, okay, this is a bar chord. And I go, John, here's a bar chord. It's like, and he goes, oh yeah, move it up now. And then my fingers just all, it's like, but then I worked at it and then I got better than him. And then my first guitar, there's actually a story behind that. My mother was going to give me money for a class ring. And I'm not really aware of jewelry and stuff like that. And it wasn't that important to me. I said, well, I tell you what, whatever, there's $60, $70, just give me the money. I want to buy a guitar. Mm-hmm. So I had that. I had a jar full of pennies and stuff. And I still remember it was like $169. It was a Fender Squier Bullet, the original Bullet.
Okay.
And so, yeah, that was my absolute first. Unfortunately, it's no longer with us. I like saying it got accidentally smashed. What happened is I was doing a show, and this is back when I didn't have that many guitars and stuff, and there was a pole on the stage, and I was going to do a thing where I'm going to take the neck and rub it on a pole, and I just, I'm kind of a gangly, big bone ox, it's like I just flip my hand like this to put it on the pole and the headstock goes flying into the crowd. And I figured, well, that's like 1/8 of the way done. I may as well smash the hell out of it. So I smashed all the hell and threw into the crowd. And so that was the end of, that was in like 91 or something like that. And and that was the end of that one. That was my first guitar.
Right. So what are your like? What are you like, a Strat guy? Are you a Les Paul guy? Are you a Fender?
I was actually expecting this question. I have no real loyalty, but I tell you, I do have the soft spot for Fender because you know, I started off with the Fender Bullet, and you know, I have an American Strat and stuff, and I always like the Fender shape and everything. But you know, as most of you guys know in here, you know, I've thought I have anywhere from, you know, 34 to 38 guitars or whatever like that, and they're not all one kind. I like the variety of the different guitars, so I've got a ton of different brands and stuff. And you know, I've got like 3 Fenders, and I've got like 3 Squires. You know, I like Squires because I like modding them and, you know, screwing with them, getting playing as well as possible. I have a Godin over there, BC Rich, Diamonds, Kiesel, Harley Benton, Ibanez, Legator, and yeah, it just goes on.
So what was the first bands you were in?
Okay, the first band was there was like a little talent show, and you know, I'm very self-conscious about my playing now, but when you first start playing and you crank it up, learn a few chords, you don't care who knows you're playing, you know. Yeah. It's like you play 2 notes on a lead and you think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. So I no hesitation showing up to a thing, not knowing what the hell I'm doing, with people who knew how to play better than I was, and I just show up in front of people and just make noise, you know. It's like, so when I first started playing, I remember it was like a talent show, but we were like playing the background music, like almost like a David Letterman band type thing. And I knew enough chords and stuff to fake and whatever. So that was technically my first gig as a guitar player. You know, before that, I had played in stage band with tuba and concert band and stuff. You know, of course, I played concerts with that, but that was the first real one. Then after that, I think we played Backyard Party, and then we had another talent show in 11th grade. I had been playing for like a year, and geez, I'm hoping I'm getting the time frame right here. So if the time frame's off, if something doesn't jive, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But anyway, so a talent show, and we played there, and we were a pretty big hit there. You know, we played like some Judas Priest and some Black Sabbath and Twisted Sister, and yeah, those were the first early gigs. The first real bar gig was, oh, I forgot to mention, the whole time while I was like 14 through like 18, I was also road crew for a band. And I learned how to do all the, you know, mix and, you know, do lights, and, cool. You know, tune guitars fast and all that stuff. So had a great time doing that. You know, I'm in a hick town. I'm in a hick section of the state and stuff, you know. Hey, I go to a bar. I mean, I'm 6'5" now. When I was like in 9th grade, I was like 6'3", you know, and I could grow a full beard, right? You know, so right. I'm in these bars and stuff. I'm drinking. 16 years old, hell yeah, running the board and stuff. Had a great old time. There's a story about me staying up till 4 o'clock in the morning doing tequila shots before my SATs. Needless to say, they weren't going to get me into any decent college, and came out pretty average. I had to retake them, but and yeah. So my first real gig, oddly enough, playing out was past the backyard parties and stuff, was the band that I was road crewing for all those years.
Right.
They had all left, and there was one original member, and the one original member left, and they said, Jim, come in, be our guitar player. And so we had a few rehearsals and stuff. Then all of a sudden, my bass player is handing out flyers, and he's calling us the name of the band that had no original members in it. I said, is this okay? So that was the first gig. It actually, you know, a lot of people say their first gigs were a disaster and stuff. I say for what it was worth, I think it went pretty well. I've had plenty of disaster gigs, but it definitely wasn't my first ones.
Right. So I mean, you had the name recognition already, so you didn't have to go through that whole hurdle of trying to establish a name and get gigs.
Oh yeah, well here's the thing, it's just local yokel band. There's a lot of people that look at this name and they go, "Oh wow, they're back."
Yeah,
and then they come and there's not one original member in the thing. So we
yeah.
were doing that before all these 80s bands were doing it 20, 30 years later. So
Yeah. So was there like a circuit that you guys were going around playing?
yeah, basically, we start out in town. We used to have some bars we could play at right in town in Burrillville. There was like the Village Barn down the street. There was Tuffy's Bar. There was Pasco Bar and Grill. I mean, they used to always be places, and later on had the White Horse. We had Katie's, and yeah, you name it. And we had a festival in Burrillville for a number of years called the Patode Fest. And it was this guy that I'm not going to get into too much of the story because this could really go off the rails, but because we had a relationship with them and, they were our sound man. We used to rehearse at their place. But this guy had like a natural amphitheater on his land. And actually, it was his mother's land. And so he'd set up the stage and PA down there, and there was a natural hillside.
Right.
Like that up on the hill. And what it is you have $5, all the free beer and dynamites you want, and you'd see like 5 or 6 bands. So I played at like 3 or 4 of those. And I played at the one that was the biggest disaster. I opened up for Physical Graffiti. We went on right before them, the Zeppelin tribute band. We put on a good show and stuff, but I always found out when he put on our best shows, something bad would happen. Someone pushed a tree on a guy, he ended up getting paralyzed and stuff.
Really?
It was all news. Yeah, it's like
shit.
Mess. So it really came under scrutiny after that, and over the next 5 years, it kind of fizzled out.
Damn. So you were with these guys for a while? So
yeah. Oh yeah. The name of the band. Well, the band that was that belonged to the up here, it was called Their tagline was and it's like it was really stupid, but it was a stupid tagline. And I tell you, if any of the guitar players see me saying that, they're probably gonna beat me up the next time they see me. But it was after that, I don't know if you ever heard.
Well, we lost you there for a little bit. All right. While your internet recycles itself, let me say hello to a few more people that are in here. Because I saw some new names. Metal Soda is in here. Welcome, Metal Soda. And who else? Gur is in here. Welcome, Gur.
Are we back?
Oh, you're back. Okay, I was just saying hello to some other people. Hugh Caldwell, Bobby Lopes, if I haven't said hello. David Ennis is here. I just took the time to welcome some people that I haven't welcomed yet. If I've missed you, please tag me in the chat. And if you've got questions as we go along, just tag.
Yep. Anyways, just pick up where we left off really quick. I'll get through this quick. Ken Lyons, he named our band the Ramona Rumble.
Ramona Rumble.
Yeah. So we were called that. Then after that, we were called, and a lot of thrash metal people are going to recognize this name. We should actually trademark name. We called ourselves 6 Feet Under. And I told my drummer came up with that name. And I told him, I said, we should really trademark that. That's a pretty cool name. And never got around to it. And sure enough, years later, the thrash supergroup came out with it.
Right.
If we had trademarked or something like that and established it, we could have gotten something from that. It's like,
well, Lenny Lou, hello, Metalhead Hippie says won't let him send a super chat. I don't know why. It should be whatever set up for it. I see the symbol on my phone, Hippie. I'm not sure why it's not working for you.
And
I appreciate the attempt.
And in between Ramona Rumble and 6 Feet Under, I had a couple of years with a band called Cool Beverages, which was a college. It was all original. college band type thing.
Right.
And so that was a definite shift in music. And there was a singer, Anne Marie. She was awesome. She was an awesome singer. It's and she had a very, it's almost like if someone taught Chrissy Hind how to sing. It was like that register, but she could actually sing.
She had range. Yeah, Christy Hind was, Christy.
Yeah,
she had a nice sounding voice. She didn't have a lot of range.
Yeah. And so there was 6 Feet Under, and then I took a 9-year hiatus, didn't play guitar anymore. Then there was Small Bus Riders.
1 second. Let me just say thank you to Daniel Horsley for the super chat. Appreciate that, buddy. Thanks so much, man. What was that? The short
Small Bus Riders. I'll give you one guess who came up with that name.
Krell?
Yeah. Well, when it came to, I always love band names because normally I just write things down, stream of thought,
right.
And that's where I came up with. And a lot of times I'd write things down just to get a laugh. And I forget who, I think Thrash Metal and Riffs had said something about this. It's like I came up with a band name. I said, this would go good for metal, Christiality, It's,
yeah.
all that. But yeah, Small Bus Rides. And after that was Tina and the Pimps.
Tina and the what? Pimps?
Pimps, yeah. And that was actually named by my friend Brad. It's like we were calling us something stupid like Zen Oyster. So I had nothing to do with that. And then my friend Brad was doing sound, and he says, and his band was up next. And he says, hey, let's hear it for Tina and the Pimps. It's like, hey, that sounds like a good band name. So, anyways, that's my whole band history, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Yeah, but it sounds like you've done a lot of gigs and you've had a lot of breaks in between. I think that's a common thing with pretty much everybody, right? Like especially guys our age, like we're roughly the same age. It's like you got that time when you're playing, and then life gets in the way, and then you stop playing, and then you never know. You never really know if you're going to come back to it, right?
Yep. Well, that 9-year hiatus where I didn't really play at all from 93 to like 2002, that was a long one. But you know what I found? Every time I took the break and stepped away from playing, when I started playing again, I reached a different level. It's like once I got back into it, it's like, wow, I'm doing things I couldn't do before. So that's why I say you gig all the time. I think I've told you before, and you feel like you're burning out your hands and stuff like. I mean, not that you guys can, afford to take off the time or whatever because you've got these gigs lined up. But it's like, yeah, take 2 weeks off and just don't touch the instrument, and then just come back. And you'll be rusty and stuff, but all your habits you got into and stuff, you'll forget some of them and you'll try some new things.
Well, one thing is like I stopped for almost 12 years, and I honestly, I never thought I would play guitar again. I thought I was like totally retired. And I had a good friend of mine that he used to push me all the time. And there was one time where like we worked together, and he came to work with an acoustic guitar, and because he knew I played in the past, right? He shows up to work with an acoustic guitar, and he goes into my office and he closes the door behind him and he hands me the guitar and he says, "I'm not leaving until you play something."
You think you're out, and they pull you back in.
You play something, and then I did like I don't know what. I was rusty as hell. I played something. He's like, "See, I knew it. You can't play the damn guitar, right?" But anyways, but yeah, I know. But now that but like you said, that break. There's stuff that I'm doing now. Like back then, because I was younger, I was way faster than I am now. I had tons of speed and tons of stamina, but my phrasing is better now. I'm a little bit, my picking hand, because I really woodshedded that, is a little bit better now. I listen better now. And I think a lot of that has to do with just age, right? Because
when I was in 10th grade, I mean, like my right hand, I mean, was like a hummingbird. And I got away with that because, you're going that fast, you can just move your fingers anywhere and like that. And the thing is as soon as I started actually learning stuff, and so I lost it. I don't have that tremolo anymore. I slowed down my right hand. I mean, I'd rather have what I have now than I had then, but it would be nice to have what I have now on my left hand and somehow manage to sync it up. And even if you don't sync it up exactly, it's like you got guitar players that they're just so fast. All you got to do is go down the scale and it sounds relatively, fast and stuff.
Yeah. I think what, and I think you're saying the same thing. What you maybe lost in technical, you gained in musicality, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. And the thing is with the music, you get self-awareness of your playing, and that's kind of tough sometimes too. And you find yourself guitar players and good guitar players, and where I was younger, it's like, look, I'm playing this. I don't care who knows it. You can say what you want. Now, I mean, I get the jitters. I get stage fright. I always get nervous before I go on. And normally, a few shots, a few beers and stuff, and just to loosen up. And, the first set, you always put your weakest songs because people are still showing up.
Yeah.
And you get through those. So if anyone wants to dance, if anyone wants to do whatever, they can. And 3 songs to warm up. The alcohol takes a little effect. You relax. You sober up, but you're all relaxed. So
right, yeah, that's one thing that I always, when the set list, like, don't give me a big solo. At least wait till we're about 4 songs in.
Yeah, I think I was telling you this yesterday. It's like we used to do. My last band used to do "Think I'm in Love" by Eddie Money.
Mm-hmm.
In that beginning guitar part, it's like some cross picking and stuff, and you got to be really loose for it. And at least the way I figured it out. And it's like our singer always put like first on the set list. And I'm like, no, there's no way I'm just coming up and doing that with my right hand. It's like,
no. But
and even third song in, it was kind of sketchy.
Yeah, you gotta warm up. I mean, I don't mind playing like simple little stuff, but wait till we're at least 4 or 5 songs in before I have to dig in, or I'm gonna, I'm just not gonna be loose, and it's not gonna sound good, man. That's just it. Hey, Gary, thank you so much. Thanks for
Gary, how's it going?
Appreciate it, man.
Hello, Rhode Islander transplant down to Florida.
Hey, Blackjack Guitar Nuts here now.
Welcome. Oh, gaggers. He wants to know the last time I had gaggers. Anyone know what gaggers are?
No idea.
The New York system wieners, basically, and it has nothing to do with New York City. It's a Rhode Island thing. It's like some people call them Coney Island hot dogs, but they're not Coney Island hot dogs. It's like a granulated meat sauce that you cook really long, ton of grease, right? And usually when you go to the place, you go down to Olneyville. There's one in Woonsocket too, and there was one on Route 44 in Providence on Smith Street. And when they would make these things, you look at the meat sauce and it would be like grease on top of it, and they take a ladle and they just mix it up, right, and then put it on. And normally what they used to do, they line up the buns on their arm and do that. Then the health department got concerned because the hair and sweat and stuff, and people didn't care back then. Yeah. And now they put they wear a plastic glove or whatever, and they do that. But basically, it's the meat sauce. Got to have the celery salt, mustard, onions. I could never eat more than 4 because the grease content is so heavy.
Hey, man, you can feel your arteries harden as you're eating.
Oh yeah, it's like Drew Carey says. That's power food. You can feel it marching right to your colon.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's about it. Okay, Fezler61 is here as well. Watchman for you, welcome. And if anyone's got any questions, please tag myself because Krell is not in the chat. And I will forward those questions to Krell. I am watching the chat.
I can see the chat, though. I can see when I look over.
You can see it.
I have to remember to look over. If you see a super chat, especially, just let me know if it's pertaining to me. I don't want to miss those.
Yeah.
I wish I could pay more attention to this. That's. Let me see if I can set this up because I know there's probably a lot of questions that I'm not answering right here.
Well, if they don't tag me, it's hard for me to see them. We got 64 people in here right now, so it's fine.
Oh, is that a record?
No.
What's the highest you ever done?
80 some.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember that. And that was with the guest. I can't remember which one though.
No,
Was it Dave?
It was. There was. I don't know. I went through this crazy streak where I had 4 shows, some guest and some without, and I was just on this crazy ass streak. I don't know what the hell, but I was getting over 80, like 4 shows in a row. And then it sort of dropped off to the normal amount, which is, between 50 and 70, right? Claude James has a question. He goes, ask Krell, is it cold up there?
Yeah, well, it's going to get down to like 13 tonight, I believe. It's been kind of warm. I mean, we've had some 50-degree days, 40-degree days, and it's been hovering around 30. But last night was down to 20. We're going to get another cold one, a couple more in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully that ends.
Dwight wants to see some of your guitars, so we haven't really gotten into that. And
okay, well,
you're around 34, you said? And
I've been getting rid of some. Disclaimer, it's like not everyone knows that the Becker's actually up for sale. It's on consignment right now. So that's not here right now. The Paul Gilbert Fireman has been sold on consignment. And I should be getting a check next week for it. I'm trying to thin it down a little bit. I'm looking at this and, you have the whole thing. If you don't play it and stuff, I'm not that drastic about, but sometimes I just look at it and I say, if I were to play out, am I going to play this? And I'm like, no way I'm taking the Becker out. It's like, that was like a museum piece to me. And I said, I may as well have someone who can really, appreciate and want to play it and stuff. And, I'll pocket that money. And, I still got plenty of other guitars to think. And don't get me wrong, I love the guitar and it's got a million switches and it sounds good. And it's just a beautifully made guitar and stuff. It's just, I'm looking and I said, yeah, I'm never going to do anything serious with this. Same thing with the Fireman. It's like, I see no way for that strap to stay on it. The way that strap holder is on there, it always feels like it's going to fall off.
You were talking about super chat. So Jeff Miller, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, it's good to see Crowbar, who is the laugh track of YouTube. There you go. Well, thanks, Jeff.
Well, I hope, in person's not too much of a letdown, because I tell you, when you're like a keyboard warrior and stuff, I can go, geez, well, it'd be good to this. And then the chat can go by and I actually have time to think of something really witty. And, in the meantime, I could have no pants on a la Quentin. I could be putting ketchup on my steak and scratching my ass. And, but yeah, normally, I can be a funny guy. A lot of times when you first meet me, I feel people out and stuff like that. And, I can be good humored and stuff, but I'm usually not full on till I get to know people better. And when you're a faceless person in a chat, everyone knows the internet. When you're anonymous, right? You just let anything fly.
Yeah, get away with murder. Yeah. So Justine is asking, well, he's asking me, but I'll ask you, did you see the new TC Electronic Plethora X5? Yes, I have. I was actually talking about that earlier on another channel that shall remain nameless. Pretty much everybody already knows about it. But anyway, yes, I saw that. Are you familiar with TC Electronics and that whole tone print thing, Krell?
Somewhat. As far as technology go, I know what a tone print is, and I don't have experience with that. I don't get them. My equipment's not that technological and stuff. And I already told you, I have a technological background. If I wanted to get into that, the learning curve would, be nothing and stuff. But I only learn things and get things that can actually do something for me. It's like
what it is like, it's like a multi-effects thing, and it's got like 5 different pedals, but you can basically assign any pedal a bunch of different tone prints. So
you can't do the pussy melter.
No, there's no tone print for that.
There was.
Oh, was that a tone print? Or
It started off as a tone
oh,
print, and then
oh, I got you.
and some girl from some sort of patchouli band or something like that, friggin', sandal wearing. I'm not even going to go off in that direction, but it's like going, oh, geez, it's sexist. And TC Electronics, they just
Hold it,
bent over and took it away. So that's when Steel Panther released the pedal. They said, screw you, we're going to release the pedal.
Yeah. I know you got a shitload of guitars, but John Harden is asking to see your favorite. If it's
okay. Ooh, that's favorite. Okay. I can show you what my main, if I were to play out now, what my main guitars would be.
All right.
Be 3 of them.
Good enough. Visual guy, welcome. Nice to see you. Gary, he's not gigging right now. Gary's saying that his wife's going to be in Rhode Island.
I'm not going to be gigging, but if he's coming up to Rhode Island, I'd go to lunch with him.
There you go.
It's always good for lunch. Anyways, this is Kiesel CT6 I had custom made.
Yeah.
Hopefully that shows up kind of good.
Yeah. It's got some flame on that.
Yep. A nice tight flame. It's Aqua Burst and, mahogany back. And I got the bird's eye maple on top of mahogany neck. And, I've been wanting to mention this, Kiesel, a lot of people get, the maple dragon heart and mahogany necks, 3-ply necks, 4-ply. And, that's mostly for strengthening and stability and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No reason to get that on a Kiesel if that's what you're looking at. They've got 2 carbon fiber rods in here.
Right.
Along with the truss rod. This neck's not going anywhere. Set and forget it. Yeah, and also the pickups in here. I will say this: the pickups, Kiesel, Carvin, whatever. The C22s, whether you get the J or the B bridge or the J's and neck one, they're very mid-rangey and honky. It's like, kind of like a cock bar, and they're kind of scratchy. I don't like those. The M22s I like. They're not my favorite in the world. That's what's in the Becker, but they're good pickups. So if anyone's, getting a guitar from Carvin, Kiesel, whatever like that, if you want probably the best pickup they have, it's probably the M22s. I played someone's guitar with the lithium, and if you're just into, that really heavy stuff, it's a very good pickup and stuff, but it's very trebly. If you like very trebly, get the lithium pickups and stuff. But from my experience, with those 3 pickups, the M22s are probably the best on that.
Janice is asking, how far is Crowbar from the Connecticut border?
Oh, geez, I'm right in tri-state area. I could probably get to Connecticut in 5 minutes.
There you
go. Putnam, 10 minutes.
Well,
yeah, 10 minutes.
We were talking yesterday, and you were saying that your favorite pickups were DiMarzios. You're a DiMarzio guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so when I replaced the pickups, DiMarzio Tone Zone and Air Norton.
Right.
Norton. And my other pickups I like the Breed. The Breed is like, Tone Zone's kind of mid-rangey, not as bad as the C22 would be and stuff. But, for the metal stuff or really hard rock, it's really good. The DiMarzio Breed, I like it. It's sort of, I hate using the keywords like warm and stuff. It's like, it's just not as high output, and you get more of the strings. There's more separation.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you distort it, it's a lot cleaner and stuff. And it has its own pleasant tones. I always hate talking about, because it's so subjective. It's like, one person's warm is another person's not warm, treble. It's like, but yeah, and I do like some Duncans. I know Dave's Guitar Channel, he's totally against Duncans, but I do like I do have the Duncan Jazz in the necks of a couple guitars. Yeah. And like those. And I know the next one I'm going to bring up came with Seymour Duncans, and they're pretty good. I'll show you. Yeah.
Frank Corcoran is here. Hey, Frank. Hack, I didn't know you were online. The bell was set on my laptop. I don't know, Frank. I don't know. Johnny Bean is here. Hey, Johnny, how are you, man?
Hey, Johnny.
Thanks, Savage. Welcome.
Again, I apologize if I'm missing people in the chat. I'm kind of a real newbie at this.
No worries. You're doing fine, man. So if you're going to make it, be that Kiesel. And what do you got? Diamond
Monarch. Looks like something Prince would play. It's sapphire.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like a purplish going to a burst. This is one of the best playing guitars I have. I mean, like, it's it's made in Korea and stuff, but it's diamond guitars are just so, I mean, I ended up getting Steve's Hailfire. That was one of the ones he got rid of.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Firebird copy. I mean, that's a great guitar in itself, great playing. I don't think it plays as well as this, but I just love this one. I mean, it's like, it's
what do you got?
Its playability is really good.
What do you got for pickups in that one?
Oh, this is this came with the Duncan Custom
in
the bridge. You know what? Let me do this. And yes, I'm wearing pants. Yeah, in the bridge, Duncan Custom and Pro Gates.
Oh, cool.
Very, very. Again, I'm using these terms, and I don't mean to sound cliched. Very dark sounding pickups. I find when I go into the amp, I've got to up the mids a little bit, take the bass.
Oops.
I disappeared.
Oh, that was me. I'm trying to. Somebody wants to see you full screen, and thanks. Let me see if I can make that happen. Oh, I don't want to see me full screen. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to get you full screen. I don't know how to get full screen.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't want to see me too big.
Well, just to show off the guitar, right?
Yeah. So I think we've seen as the coil taps and stuff, and and it's always a nice feature to have the coil taps. It approximates the sound of the single coil, but it's never really like a true single coil.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I just figured it out. I got you full screen. Now you can see your guitars, and everyone will see them.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You can see this a little better.
Thanks, Bruce.
Getting used to that.
That's cool. Even the headstock's not bad looking on those, eh?
Yeah, they've got their own thing. I mean, it's almost like a warped PRS, basically. It's like someone melted a Harley Benton PRS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good though.
And like Steve from Boston would say, "Hello, hello."
It's a nice looking guitar.
Okay, let me get it. Okay, I lied. There may be two more here.
Okay, no worries. Keep them coming.
Because this is the infamous Kotzen guitar.
Now, is that neck as thick as everyone says, or what?
Oh yeah, it's
holy shit! You could tell. That's a bat, man.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
But the thing is that I always say this. I've got big hands and average fingers, so it's like,
right.
I've got these meat hooks for hands with average fingers on it. So when I grab the neck, I mean, this fills my hand has no problem on the neck at all.
Right.
And the fingers can fit on top of it.
And that bridge pickup can get pretty hot too, can it? Again, it's a single coil, but
Chopper T. It's a Marzio Chopper T.
Right,
and
right.
The Marzio Twang King.
Right. So those are high output pickups. Uh-oh. Did you freeze on me? All right, give him a minute. He'll come back. In the meantime, let me see if I missed anything in the chat here. Brad Miller is here. Hey, Brad, welcome. No worries, Bruce. Thanks for pointing that out, man. I'm clueless here sometimes driving this boat. And Brian just showed me how to do it. Right click. Yeah, I got that eventually. Hey, visual guy. What kind of amps does Crowbar use? I'll ask him, Will.
There we are.
There he is.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Twang King's not stacked, but yeah, it's probably a higher output than a standard telly.
Yeah.
And stuff. And one unique feature of this is that this tone knob right here actually isn't a tone knob; it's a switch. What this does, it throws it in and out of phase. It was in parallel and series. I'm sorry.
All parallel and series. Okay.
Yeah. And so you get a different sound out of these two pickups.
Right. Well, it's not real fat if you run them in series.
Yeah, it's like, so maybe I'm getting that wrong. Is it a phase? I haven't played this through an amp in a while, but thing is that you run it one, it's going to be like a telly. It'll be out of phase. Maybe I misspoke. And the other way, it's like you have this full-on humbucker with this full-on.
Right. Somebody's asking about your, unless you want to show another guitar, but somebody was asking about amps. Actually, Will was asking what kind of amps you use.
Oh, okay. I tell you what, I'll show one more guitar.
Yeah, go for it.
No, make that two. I promise there won't be two more.
No worries. Metal Hippie wants me to tell Ben Coombs to send him his damn guitar picks. Is Ben in here? I haven't seen Ben. Ben, if you're in here, send Hippie his guitar picks. There. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yep, and I figure I show one of Steve's guitars. This is one of the ones he got rid of. The 1980 Ibanez Artist.
Nice.
Now, story behind this is I was actually looking for one of these because my rhythm guitar player, he passed away back in 2014, unfortunately. And he used to play an Ibanez Artist. And I always liked the guitar and stuff. And, he was a hell of a rhythm guitar player. And, wow, 6 years ago already. And I said to myself that, I want to find an Ibanez Artist. And then so Steve started talking about selling some of his guitars. And I said, well, I might be interested. What do you think about that Artist? He says, oh, it'd be really tough on that. I don't know. Then he got back to me. He said, okay, so we worked something out. And went up there, got that. So in the end, I ended up getting this. I got the Diamond Hailfire, and I got the 88 Ibanez Radius, which doesn't have the wizard neck. It has the fat neck. And which is good because I've got some Ibanez's with the wizard neck and stuff, and y'all know hands cramp up doing that.
With the hands that you've got, that neck would be ridiculous for you to play a wizard neck, man.
Oh yeah, it's like it's like
yeah.
But anyways, but I wouldn't have gotten it had it had a wizard neck. The fact is that that's essentially the first Joe Satriani model. The first Ibanez Radius was the Joe Satriani model, basically.
Right.
And it has a nice, comfortable, fatter neck. It's not a really fat neck, but it's definitely not a wizard. So
I should mention that the Steve that you're talking about is Steve from Boston, if anyone's unfamiliar with Steve from Boston, who's got a big, massive YouTube channel. So I'm sure everybody here knows Steve from Boston. Hey there, Sean Zimmerman. Welcome.
Okay, one more. Let's see what we can. It won't be a real big bang. Should I show him the Les Paul, or should I show him my American Strat?
Well, you know who you're asking, right? I mean,
yeah. Okay, well, it is an Epiphone, so it's got the funky headstock, but it's a '60s Tribute Plus, And for those of you in the know about it, this is like one of the most expensive Epiphones you can get. I think they're asking $849 for these now. When I got it, I knew someone in a music store, and he said, "Jim, you're a Les Paul player," and I really wasn't. And he gave this to me for $450 with case, brand new.
Nice.
And reason why it's so expensive is that the QC is great. I mean, it was very well set up. Well, they probably set it up at the music store. No high frets and stuff. Very comfortable to play. Has Grover lock and tuners. Has Gibson 57s in it.
There you go.
Craft jacks with jacks and high quality pots. So it's essentially a Les Paul.
It's a Les Paul. Yeah.
The only difference is it's made in China. It's Gibson approved chipset.
Yeah, and I bet you if you AB'd that with a Les Paul with 57s, you wouldn't even hear the difference.
Yeah, well, the thing is, my other guitar player in my last band, he says, "Let's have a Les Paul night." So he pulled out his 73 Les Paul. That was his prized possession. And maybe this can't smoke every Les Paul out there, but I smoked him with this. This is a killer sounding guitar. Thing is, I was never a fan of the Les Paul shape.
Really?
Because I think me being 6'5" and stuff, it kind of looks like a toy on me.
Right.
I mean, it used to look like a toy on Leslie West, and Leslie West ain't a tall guy, but he was kind of really expanded this way.
Yeah.
And like he'd have it look like a toy guitar on him. So here I am, 6'5" and stuff. I got this little Les Paul hanging off me. I'll show you one more, and I swear, because I have to show this because this is basically my main guitar, my Fender. I was talking about Fenders, so I may as well.
So Will is saying you had a Les Paul night and you didn't even invite me. All right.
And you know what? That's the only Les Paul the other guitar player had too.
Right.
He got 73. It was his first real guitar. He's a bit older than I am. He was like 18 in 1973. So for his 18th birthday, he got it. Yeah, this is a 2009 American Strat. I'm a fan of Andy Timmons, just like Dave Nesdall and stuff like that. And I'm not shelling out. I'm sure the guitar is great and stuff, but I love the natural wood and stuff like that. And so, I wanted to try something different for the pickups because, I got the tone zones, the breeds and stuff. I figured, well, I'd make this, I'd put the hottest ones in here. These are like Pro Tracks, I think they're called.
Mm-hmm.
Pro Track 1 and stuff. And for the hard rock and stuff, it's really great. And, when you switch it into I got this pre-wired, by the way. And when you switch it into the 2 and 4 positions and stuff, it actually taps them, and you do get a little bit of a quacky tone, but it's like not as good as single coils. It never will be, but
those are humbuckers, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's quiet.
Yep. Yeah. I put lock and tuners on it, and it's a Babbitt's bridge I put on there. I like this bridge. It's the thing. I just wish they didn't put the screw-in trem bar on there. It's like they made such a nice bridge. It's a full contact bridge, and we can argue up and down about like tone and whatever. But what I notice is that if you got a brass block and stuff, I always tend to have more sustain on it. It's like it just seems to ring out more for longer. Anyways, in my experience, I mean, other people's experience may vary. But full contact bridge, what it is that the saddles actually sit on the bridge, and like there's a big brass block, and what it is there's some cams in here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's a unique way of adjusting it. So it sits right on it. And so instead of having 2 screws moving up and down, it actually moves in a circle at different heights, the way it's machined. So as you turn it, the string goes up and down like that.
Yeah.
Very good bridge. Like I say, I wish it was a popping bar. That's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if the firmer that the tail end is, right, the more the vibration is going to happen and we froze them again. The more the vibration is going to happen over the pickup. So that would be one reason for that. And I'm just checking to see here. Okay, Metal Soda, I think you just answered that question about the bridge. I'm just going back here to see. Joe Hervey wants to go over an hour. You will go a little over an hour. No worries, Joe.
Oh, here we go.
He's back.
Okay, now who asked the question about the amps?
Oh, I forget. It was way back there. But somebody.
Okay, whoever it was, just say in chat again. I'm going to tell you what I had for amps. I've got a Super Drive 30 on consignment right now. I had a Marshall JVM, which was just too much amp that I never used, never left the house, that I sold. Same thing with the damn Mark IV 1x12 combo Mesa. It's like I got rid of that too because it's kind of compact, but the damn thing weighs 100 pounds. I mean, friggin' transformer in this, huge.
Yeah.
And I'm getting old, my back's going out and stuff. And so here's the thing, tubes, solid state and stuff. I tell you, a lot of crap solid state has been made in the past, and that's what really gave it a bad rap. But what Boss is doing with the Katana and stuff, and a lot of these with solid state technology, I tell you, I got the Katana 3 years ago, and I still remember on my birthday, I actually played a gig at a bar down the street there, or some bike run or something like that. And it was very informal. It's like they didn't mic amps or anything. And it was so informal, I said, well, I'm going to see what this thing can do. 1x12 Katana. Okay. So put there, not mic'd. My friend brought his whole set. He actually plays through a spider valve. He has some Marshalls and stuff, but he just likes not taking his Marshalls out. So he had a spider valve on top of a Line 6 cab, which is a good cab. Questions. And I'm not going to say I outcranked them, but for the bar, for being heard and stuff at the volume war, I had the volume on the 1x12 Katana up around, on full power, up around 1, maybe 2 o'clock. And that was cutting through.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't need to be mic'd or anything. And here's the thing. Everyone knows with solid state amps, because with transistors and stuff, they're not as heat stable as tubes are. I mean, it's like when transistors heat up, their characteristics, go haywire and stuff. That's why, especially in the old days, it's like someone crank up. You'd see famous bands using that, and they'd have the amps cranked up, and it sound like ice pick tree is, because it just get the scratchy mess. I don't know what they did with the Katana and some other amps. It's like crank it up, sounds better. It didn't get ice picky at all and stuff. I go, holy crap. It's like, I liked it so much. There was no speaker out on the 1x12. So I got the head. Mm-hmm. So there it is. Like, for a little over $500, I've got a 100-watt head and a 100-watt 1x12. So I covered the JVM, the Mark IV that I got rid of, the Super Drive. That's it, and the Super Drive never left the house. That's more like a very good sounding amp. It has some reliability. That amp doesn't have reliability issues, but Buddha's had a history of it. It's a 2008. It's right before PV took it over. I actually talked to Jeff Bober before I bought it, and I was asking him questions on it. And very good sounding amp. It just said I don't see myself using it. So now as I get older and my back's starting to go out, it's like it's all about how many can I get it. So it's like, so the tubes have been kind of going out the window. I still have tube amps, as far as like I have a PV 5050 in a rack that I've had for a while, and I picked up an 11 rack for $199 on clearance. And if I ever need to do the rack thing or whatever, then I'm just going to go through that. And the Soldano on the 11 rack, that is one of the best models I've ever heard of a Soldano. Now, I haven't played Nax Effects, so it's like, but I mean, I love the Soldano on it. It sounds really, really good. Yeah, so amps. Oh, I have the Blue Guitar Amp 1 from Thomas Blue. And again, I was in conversation with him before I bought it. And I like to, when you afford the opportunity to buy something sight unseen without trying it, always take the opportunity to shoot them an email or try calling them or something like that. They'll talk to you a lot of times. And so Thomas Blug, told me about it, and I had a bunch of questions for him, and then I ordered it. And there's also another thing. You know how Guitar Center has the coupons, and they usually have the disclaimer on it. Okay, it's good for nothing. It's like, but the thing is, they want you to go in the store. If you try using it online, it'll work for almost nothing. They want you to go in the store and they'll honor the coupon in store. But coupon says, oh, everything except Fender, Gibson, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Well, they don't list the blue amp guitar 1 or whatever it's called.
Right.
They don't list that on there. So, I mean, this was like a 30% coupon. So I managed to get it online and ship to my house, 30% off.
Oh, that's good, man. That's really
and that's great. And the other tube amp I have, I can actually show you. It's kind of close by. This is what I gigged with. And, for what it is, it's the tube. That's a Tube Viper.
Oh, yeah.
And my Carvin 2x12 that I've had since like 95 and stuff. That's a good sounding cab. I've got a bass amp here. I've got 3 cabs over there. I've got a Laney Ironheart 2x12. That's if I'm going to use 2x12s, that's going to be for the bottom end. I did get the Harley Benton 2x12.
How's that?
30. Excellent. The thing is, the build of the cabinet, the Tolex leaves something to be desired.
Right.
Stuff like that. It is a plywood cabinet, though.
Really?
But yeah, Tolex, it started peeling this. I played it out like 2 times before it broke up. And
I was just going to say, like throwing that in the back of a car, I think a couple of times and it's done.
But hey, what was it? $150?
Yeah.
I think after shipping, it's, $180. Well,
apparently
whatever it was.
It's the speakers are worth more than the whole friggin' thing.
Yeah. And what they do is they just buy them in bulk.
Yeah.
And it's like
V30s in it, right?
Yeah, V30s, vintage 30s.
Yeah.
And Laney, and I also have a Mesa cabinet, which one of my friends had that and played through it, and he was getting such a good sound out of it. When I got the blue guitar amp 1, I just wanted a 1x12 cab, and for what Mesa is, it's reasonably priced and it's ported and it's got a 90-watt speaker in it, and I can't remember what model of Celestion it is. I think it's a Mesa, but I think Celestion may have a hand in it. I'm not exactly sure. Blug, he likes having a 60-watt speaker in his cabinet and have a 100-watt amp. I mean, you could actually blow it out if you cranked it up and constantly played through it. I want a little more room on that.
It's gonna run hot. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand the whole concept of making the speaker really work and stuff, but but as far and the Joyo Zombie up there, that you can watch Henning's video there when he had input on that. When he got that, he turned up the gain on it, and it turned into mud, just like a real Mesa. It's like my Mark IV used to do that. And then he went back to him and says, "Well, if you're going to do this, clean it up and make an improvement on it." And I tell you, that Joyo Zombie is a great friggin' amp, and that's only like 20 watts. It's got a tube. I tell you the truth, I don't know what the tube does in it. It's probably, I'm gonna guess it's try to warm up the sound coming out of it.
Okay. But, Bobby says he asked me once, Metal Soda. I guess he was not interested in caps. So Bobby Lopes. There's 74 people in the chat. If you want me to see something, tag me. It's hard to keep track of everything. No reason to get upset. And Dave's Guitar Channel was asking if that was a Marshall laundry basket that you had back there.
Marshall laundry basket. Yeah, that's that laundry basket is that's I'm not a single guy, but that's a single guy basket. When I do my laundry or my girlfriend does my laundry or whatever, if I'm too lazy to put it in the drawers,
That goes in there.
My underwear, my pants and stuff. And sometimes I just cycle through like the same, 5 pants, 5, however many during the week or whatever.
Yeah.
Just keep washing them. In the meantime, I got drawers and closets full of the clothes I don't touch.
Exactly. So Will Flassis is asking, hell yeah, the Joyo Zombie is a killer amp. Guitar hack. Tell Krelbar to throw a $20 Mesa Boogie 12AX7 in that Zombie, and it will sound exactly like a Mesa Boogie. There you go.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Maces. Do we know who they outsource from? I think it's Ruby. Do they outsource from Ruby? And they're all balanced tubes when you get the power tubes from them. But I'll definitely take that in consideration. I was definitely thinking of gigging with it if I ever, gig again. I mean, that'd be great if I ever go to my pedal board. I do have a pedal board with stuff, and I can get into that quick. I did pick up the Lawrence Petros 87 last year.
Yeah, that's a great pedal, eh?
It's a preamp. It's like seriously, it's like you can take this and plug into a power amp, and it's very responsive. It's like it sounds like a hot red plexi, basically.
Yeah. There was a question that went by that I was actually going to ask you.
Yep.
Where does the name Krelbar come from? Here we go.
Okay,
here we go. Line them up.
Probably around 1992. I have a circle of friends that we're pretty unique. We're pretty twisted. And the thing is that, they're into some more things of the leafy variety than I am.
Yeah.
If you get my drift.
I get your drift.
It's like, but I'm not saying that I never did, but it was one of the nights I did with them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just taking a pen and paper, and we're just doing scribble drawings.
Right.
And we're handing it off, and then we're looking at it, see if we can see anything in it. And and then it just came out. It looked like a demon, right? Or at least it did to us at that time. And my friend Bill's like, wow, that's evil, right? And he goes, we're going to name it. And like, I think it was either both me and him, or he just said Krelbar or something like that.
Right.
And I go, okay. And then it just stuck. It's like what I did is I ended up joining the fantasy football league, and that's why I call my fantasy team at Krelbar.
I gotcha.
And so when I start a YouTube channel, Krelbar. It's
oh, there you go. There's the mystery of the name. Metal Soda's got a question for you.
Before you go to that question, I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
We made that word up off the top of our heads.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You do a search online, there was a movie company called Krelbar Pictures that did westerns in the 20s.
Wow.
Krelbar Pictures.
Must have been the guy named Krelbar that was making movies.
Yeah.
Metal Soda's asking, who is some of your favorite guitarists?
Ooh. We can get into jazz fusion, we can get into metal, we can get into rock and stuff. I mean, recent ones, Guthrie Govan, however you pronounce that. Yeah. The guy is just ridiculous.
It's insanely good. The guy's not.
I'm going to leave out people. I'm going to try, pulling up some obscure ones that maybe you guys can check into. I mean, all the other names that are out there, that I could drop, that Al Di Meola, or I like calling him Al Di Hairpiece. It's because it seems like he got more hair as he got older, but he's got a good hairpiece though compared to.
You know who died today?
Huh?
You know who died today? Cy Sperling.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not just the president; he's a client.
He's a client. Yeah, he passed away today. He sold that company back in, what did they say, like 2014? Or the guy made a fortune with that Hair Club for Men, man.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm going to throw some names at, Richie Kotzen, of course. I mean, Richie Kotzen's like, I follow his career from the time he was a teenager. And then, he's played with a jazz fusion band called Virtu. And with names, I think Wayne Shorter was in there. And he can play jazz too. And it's like he hung with them and everything. So he's great. But guys like more unknown guys. You ever hear of Brett Garsed?
No.
Yeah, he used to play with Nelson. You remember Ricky Nelson's kids?
Yeah.
There were two guitar players. There was T.J. Heinrich and Brett Garsed. Check out Brett Garsed. He has this hybrid thing where like he uses his middle finger to pick notes and skip and stuff like that. Geez, who am I listening to? I love Tony McAlpine back in the day.
Yeah.
He's a local guy. He went to Springfield Conservatory in Massachusetts. And piano player too.
Yeah, he's keyboard, yeah.
And geez, there's just so many. Maybe I should look at my signature guitars and the Paul Gill, the Jason Beckers I was always worshipped, and oh God, if you like the blues side, I mean, like I'm not 100%. I can't sit and listen to blues all the time, but there's some that make it interesting. I know Dave may disagree with me on that. I like Scott. I like his take on it. It's almost like Stevie Ray Vaughan went to Berkeley. When you listen to his blues riffs, it's oh yeah, there's just tons of guitar. Neil Sean.
Neil Sean.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Neil is that he's just so melodic.
Yes.
It's like, and he just plays these melodies. It's like ridiculous.
Crazy, yeah. Yeah. I love Neil Sean. I'm a big Neil Sean fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank online. It's just that there's so much.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a guitar and you have an encyclopedia of songs and someone says, play something.
Yeah.
And for life, you can't remember what to play.
Please. Yeah. Jay Steen is asking what you have on your pedal board and what your favorite pedals are.
Okay. To tell you the truth, I haven't used a pedal board in a number of years. I'd probably say like around 8 years. I do have a pedal board, and what I have on my pedal board right now is I have a Barber Direct Drive, which I mean, it by no means is a balls out distortion or anything, but it does. I'm not going to say it's like Dumb-Alaska, something like that, but it's like a tube scream. What a tube screamer should have been built like. It's got that mid-rangey thing if you want it, but you have to pull it up, you can punch it out and stuff. And I have a compressor from Barber Electronics too that I actually used as a clean boost when solos and stuff. I hit that and boost it. It's a very good compressor too. Let's see on the board. I use Digitech Hardwire products. Now everyone's in Digitech. Well, when they came out with the Hardwire products, they're very, very good pedals. The chorus pedal, the super chorus pedal, or whatever they call it, you can get any chorus sound that was ever made on that. And it's all metal and they're well made. And also I have the Hardwire reverb too, for those times when I don't have reverb on the amp. That's actually the reverbs by Lexicon. So it's a very good reverb, and you can get any type of reverb on that. Very underrated. I mean, I would say those two, get those. I can't attest to the other ones, but they are awesome, awesome pedals.
Yeah.
As far as like my pedal collection, I've got a Satriani Saturator, which is a pretty cool pedal. I've never put it in my board. Geez, I've got a drawer of pedals back there. See, saturated. I got a Tech 21 Sans amp. This is great. This is why I bring it as a backup amp. I'll just plug this into the board.
Right.
Play dry, just to get you through a show. I'm not going to or anything like that. I mean, now if it was an amp, I'd bring the blue guitar probably, and a cabinet, and
You ever play those? You ever seen those little tiny Vox amps with the new tube technology? It's like a little tiny. It's like literally about that big, little handle on it.
No, I haven't. I've seen those. I've seen
Yeah,
those.
little it looks like a toy.
Mm. The only Vox product I've ever had is that saturator pedal. I think.
Yeah. Well, these
Yeah.
you're talking about a backup thing like that.
Hmm.
We have one, and we take it to all the gigs, and we because it's so small, you just throw it in the backpack with everything else, right? And it was because I went to play a show about like an hour and 20 minutes away from me, and like an idiot, I didn't realize I brought my cab but not my head, and there's no way in hell I get time to go back home to get and you know what I mean.
So you
And
went somewhere and bought it.
no, we had it. We always kept
Oh, you already had it.
as a backup in case something goes down. I played the whole show with this little plastic thing, and I ran my pedal board in the front of it and the whole 9 yards, and it did not sound that bad. It was like wow, it's
Hey,
amazing.
that's probably a good plan. The Joyo Zombie's probably a good platform for that.
That'd
It's
be,
got
that'd
an
be
excellent.
another
So
one that would work too.
that's and like I can't stress enough as we get older and stuff. But I played football for 4 years in high school, and I liked using myself as a battering ram and crushing people. But little did I know I was crushing myself too. All that's coming back to haunt me.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I just got this new back pain this past weekend. Where'd that one come from? So the lighter, more miniature, if I can get away with it, fine. It's
Like I got myself down to like here's the thing, like depending on the size of the place I play, I'm either gonna take I got a 212 cab and two heads, and I'll take one head or the other. And I got a combo, but the combo is 50 freaking pounds, and already that's becoming a pain in the ass.
mm,
You know. So, I don't know. The other guy in the band, he just bought a Fender Supersonic. It's
yep.
22 watt like it's a combo with a single 12 in it. He's going to be gigging with that. That's a smaller, right?
Yeah, it's a higher gain version, basically. Of Kotzen was playing that when I went to go see him at with Winery Dogs down in Pawtucket. He was going through a supersonic.
Oh, really? Yeah. But I know what you mean. It's we want to get smaller. We want to get lighter stuff because not getting any younger, man.
Oh yeah. Any other questions out there?
Um.
I'm trying to keep an eye on chat myself too.
Oh, Jason says he has the Vox clean. I like it too. Yeah, I think those little Vox things are pretty cool, man. I think they're pretty cool.
And also, Behringer, right? If you can get this,
yeah.
I put this next to it's a Tube Screamer copy.
Right.
I like this better than Tube Screamer. It's
solid
plastic. This actually, if you put a little, distortion on like you do with the Tube Screamer and stuff, and click this actually, to my ears, has actually a little more drive to it, and it's a little less honky and mid-rangey compared to. I put them side by side, and I kind of this was like $19 brand new when I got it in the 2000s.
Yeah, one of the best pedals I have is a $40 pedal from K-Line.
Mm-hmm.
K-Line Pure Sky.
I've actually never heard of that.
Oh well, so what it is? It's actually Dave from Dave's Guitar Channel was the one who suggested it. It's a Timmy clone.
Oh, okay.
It's a metal box though. It's not plastic like the Behringer. And that thing, I've gigged with that over a year and it's never failed me. Now that I've said it probably will.
Wait, when they name the Timmy, does that have anything to do with South Park? Whoever named that the Timmy, or was there a guitar player named Tim? Is it Tim Pierce?
I don't know where that name came from.
Because every time I see the pedal called Timmy, I think of Timmy on South Park. Timmy.
Metalhead Hippies asking, does Crow like the SF300 Super Fuzz?
I actually don't really do fuzzes. I haven't done fuzzes. The fuzz I have is on my PV Viper here. But yeah, I've never really had a use for fuzz.
Yeah,
I've never really tried any fuzz. You know what? I may have gone through a fuzz pedal in my early years because someone had one and all the I used to play through one of my first amp. Well, my brother, when he got his Hondo, he actually had a Fender Super Champ, one of the ones designed by Paul Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that amp, and he sold it. And so I kind of used that in a couple gigs and stuff. But my main rig was a Boss heavy metal pedal through a PVTKO amp when I played that talent show and stuff like that. And yeah, no nuance there. Just, turn up the buzzsaw.
That's funny.
I shouldn't have sold that pedal. That's actually in demand right now. That's a lot. I think that's selling upwards of like, $100 or something like that now.
Yeah, you never know what's going to become, wanted later on. You never know, right?
I do have I forget the model number. It's in my pedalboard case. It's a not Digitech, a Boss PS. I want to say it's the PS3 or PS2. But anyways, this is actually sought after. Brand new, it was like $140. It was the same place I got that Les Paul from, only years earlier, like in '95. And he says, he said, it's brand new, want to clear it out and stuff like that. And so he gave it to me for $99.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new. And so, okay, so turns out it's a pink label Japanese Boss. And it can get an effect on there. It almost sounds like a ring modulator type thing.
Right.
But it's like, but it like does an arpeggio type thing, and it goes up into, and it's actually was a sought after sound by a lot of bands or something. Someone used it on a record or something. And so I'm looking at what these are going for. So you basically get back what you would have paid for it. But they're going for like upwards of $150 right now.
What's really cool, and I've been lucky with guitars where I've had a guitar. One guitar I had for over 20 years, and I probably did, without exaggeration, okay, I've probably played 200 shows with it. And 20 years later, I sold it for what I bought it for. And you know why? Because for whatever reason, it was a Strat Plus, and it had lace sensor pickups. And that became a thing. And there were guys looking for lace sensor pickups on a guitar. And I had the 3 golds, which were like because I don't know if you remember lace sensors, but they had the red and they had the blues, and I had all gold. So it was like the most Strat sounding ones they had, because they weren't hot or anything, right?
Which ones did David Gilmour have? Were those the golds?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm guessing if anyone was, it was him and Clapton pushing that. They were the 2 big names with lace sensors.
Yeah, Blackie had that. And this was a Blackie guitar too. It was like a black, white maple, Anyways, and I tell you, man, I had frets in there that were worn down and nothing. I had real relicking on it. I didn't pay that drop it 30 times. That was real relicking. And the guy bought it, broken case and everything. He's like, I want it. All right, beautiful.
It's always good when you break even or make a little more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
I made a little money on that Paul Gilbert too. It actually sold for the same price that it was sold at too. And then minus the consignment fee, I'll probably, end up $300 ahead what I paid for in 2015.
You think about it like this, you basically had a free guitar. That's the way I look at it. I played all those shows with a free guitar. That's the way I look at it. So.
Yeah, another pedal I want to mention too, and I'm just gonna, I mean, it's kind of tinny, if you just plug into, you can't use this in anything other than a clean amp. I mean, even if it's off and it's in the front of the amp, it's going to create a ton of noise. It's not true bypass. But I mean, like, I digress. It's the weapon. I don't listen to Disturbed or anything. I'm not a big fan of Disturbed. But when I was in Tina and the Peps, we did a cover of "Listen to the Flower People" by Spinal Tap. Actually, we did "Walking on the Moon," and then we segued into "Listen to Flower People." Then we went back into "Walking on the Moon."
Oh.
And as you all know, there's a sitar solo in there. And I'm looking up, and there was a sitar swami and stuff, and I'm listening to demos of it and stuff, and it's crap. Everyone's saying, "This is crap. This is crap. This is crap." So I know that the sitar sound that Dan Donegan used in Disturbed was kind of convincing on the record. I can't even remember the song. So I said, well, I saw one for like $40. So I picked one up. And the sitar on this is like as close as you can get, I think, without, it's like, it's not going to be exactly like, but you can pass with it.
Right.
And what I would do is like, I play near the bridge, on the bridge pickup near the bridge, really get that tinny thing. And it really does a good job. And song went over big, by the way. And then after that, another friend I had with the music store, he had a brand new one and he was closing the store. And this thing's like $150 brand, 120 a box. It comes with a pick and a bag and, all that stuff. So I think it was like $45. I think I got it for.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just closing it out, just 45. So I've got a new one back there. So I've always got the sitar sound I want.
That's
if I ever need the sitar again.
So
but
we got one more question for you, and I think we're gonna start wrapping this up. Hugh Caldwell, welcome. Hugh is asking what your favorite Queen album is. You mentioned Queen earlier.
Queen 2.
Queen 2. There you go.
It's like there's no hits off it. And, I'm not saying that to be risque or anything like that. It's like, ooh, it's cool. It's an unknown album. No, listen to that. And you'll see how, the first album, but, something about the first album from Queen. I'm convinced that they were trying to be a Christian rock group because there was so many references to Jesus and stuff like that. And Keep Yourself Alive sounds like a very inspirational thing. I expect a Christian rock.
I never put that together with. Okay.
Yeah, when I lay awake at night, I think of these things. but anyways, then Queen 2 came out, and it's so ambitious past that. It's like listen to it through headphones, and it's just all over the place. First one I'd want you to listen to is March of the Black Queen. It goes through different genres, and it's just. You've got like a Bohemian Rhapsody. It goes into the opera section and stuff.
Right.
This is all over the place. And it has its own like little dramatic opera section, little piano breaks, has something that sounds like vaudeville at the end of it. It's like, and then you have like the Fairy Feller's Masterstroke. It's just all over the place. Ogre Battle, which is probably the heaviest tune on there.
Yeah.
And a little known fact, and I was one of those ones that spun the records backwards, right? As it comes in, there's a backwards part, and it kind of swells up into a thing, and then the main theme comes in. It's all backwards and stuff. If you play it backwards, it's the end of the song. If you play the end of the song backwards, it's the beginning of the song.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And I think it says Hail Satan in there somewhere too. It's like,
yeah.
Or it's fun to smoke marijuana.
There you go.
Yeah, well, hey, I'm here as long as you guys want me, so it's all up to you, Hack.
Well, I just I always make this speech at some point in the show. So folks, I want to thank all of you that tuned in today and they're in the chat and watching the show. You guys absolutely rock. This is a fantastic community. I love the comments, keeping it all positive, keeping it a positive, happy place, and I want to encourage everyone to support each other and keep growing the community, make it bigger, make it stronger, make it better. If you want to support the Hack channel, I got links below. I do have Guitar Hack merch. I got mugs. I got t-shirts. I got hoodies, all that kind of good stuff. If anyone so chooses. I also have a Facebook page. I've got a Guitar Hack group. I also have an Instagram below. So check that stuff out below because I'm always posting stuff on the Facebook page. And I've got a lot of people submitting some really cool content onto the Guitar Hack group. So if you're not a member of the Guitar Hack group or the Guitar Hack page or the Instagram, please follow them. They're down below. And I want to thank everyone that's tuned in and checking out the show. It's 9:35. We'll go for another 10-15 minutes, and then I think
all up to you.
Yeah.
It's like Richard Gere and Officer and Gentleman. I got nowhere else to go. Anyways, I like to mention, I'm looking at the chat, and Joe Hervey's in there, my perverted buddy. There, yeah. He said great job or something like that, and I'm getting some praise in here, and I really appreciate that because I didn't know how I would come across in a live setting. I have a problem talking to inanimate objects. I'm one of those people that when I leave a message on an answering machine, I'm like George Costanza. I'm gonna have to break into their house and steal tape back. And I just didn't want one of those situations. And Rick Hefner, yeah, I got a bone to pick with him. He said Queen is overrated. Oh, just my opinion. And my opinion is you haven't listened to enough Queen. It's like if you listen to just the hits and everything they, plunge into your head and stuff like that, it can wear on you quick. It's like I can't listen to Bohemian. Bohemian Rhapsody is a great song. I don't have it on my playlist.
It's because I don't want to hear it again. But because when you got really good songs like that and they get overplayed and then you don't want to hear them ever again, no matter how good they are. Yeah, that's what I find.
Yeah, greatest Stairway to Heaven is. Don't want to hear that.
Oh, you know what? Led Zeppelin, Get the Lead Out. I mean, when I was listening to the radio, not so I don't listen to the radio as much now, but before it's like it was always the same half a dozen or dozen Zeppelin songs over and over and over. And I actually stopped listening to Zeppelin for a while because I got tired of it. And I love Led Zeppelin.
I tell you, when I hear the Wanton song on the radio, I crank it up and I just get psyched and say, it's about freaking time someone plays that song. It's like they play everything else different.
Yeah, play something, play a B-side, play something, else, right? Stop playing on the friggin', oh man, it's a long time since I rock and roll. I don't want to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear Stairway to Heaven anymore.
Oh, and also I learned something today, my fellow Rhode Islanders, Massachusetts people, something that went right over my head. I don't really listen to radio, but in the mornings, when I'd listen on the drive time, WAAF 107 been around for like 30 odd years. They got sold. They're going off the air tonight and stuff. So they're just having like memories and stuff. And, I don't know what they're going to go to. All I know is I had an oldie station I used to listen to in Rhode Island. I think it was 103.3. I turn it on one day and it's just this techno pop modern crap, and I go, there goes another friggin' radio station. And don't get me wrong, AAF was kind of cookie cutter as well. It's like you're gonna get your new metal bands, you're gonna get your class, and they ham you with it, but they weren't always like that. They were an institution around here. It's kind of sad to see them go. So anyone, any of the transplants like and stuff down in Florida, he probably hadn't heard that. He knows what WAAF is. And anyone around here that doesn't know that caught me by surprise. They had just gotten into the Hillman morning show, the drive time thing, like 4 months ago, and that had been around for 30 years. And it's all decisions and stuff. God knows what they're going to next.
So Rick Hefner is replying to your comment. He's saying, like I said, just my opinion, and I've heard all the Queen as my girlfriend at the time loved Queen. So he probably got
so he basically got the corporate radio treatment from his girlfriend. In other words, like went from the first Queen album all the way up to Innuendo and stuff and just kept playing it over and over. So every time my brother was like that with Kiss. He was the Kiss fan. And, I like a couple of Kiss songs, but I really can't. It's like my brother used to play the hell out of it.
Yeah. Well, Kiss, that's what got me going.
Yeah, I wasn't influenced by Kiss back. Me and my brother would have Queen battles and stuff. And of course, he always, Freddie didn't have to come out of the closet. Everyone knew he was gay. 70s and stuff. Liking a band where the guy was openly gay like that. Kind of left open for criticism and stuff like that. I could give a shit less and stuff, but you can get balls busted and stuff. So that was his fallback, was like, and anyone that like Kiss or another band's like, well, Freddie's gay. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the band was called Queen. Get a clue.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? When Rob Halford came out, though, that was like, oh my God. But then look at the outfits.
Look at the clues.
All through his career.
Yeah, he's dressed up like Vito in Sopranos. Yeah, when they caught him dancing in the gate. It's like,
watch
and
that. Go watch
still
the Pacino movie, Cruiser. Cruising,
Yeah. You want to play with me? You want to play with me? Come play with me. And you could probably find the soundbite. I saw it before, and I laughed at when I heard that after Rob Halford came out. He was in an interview, and someone asked him, "Well, who is it famous that you would go for a guy?" I don't know what the interview was. I saw it before and stuff. And his exact words in that English, I'm awfully fond of Howie Long, the linebacker from the Raiders. And you know what? Once I got that clip, and I went to all the Raiders fans with that, and I say, yeah, the gay guy from Judas Priest, he likes your linebacker boy there, huh? Yeah, Oakland Raiders, they're a real tough crowd.
Funny. That's funny. And I love Judas Priest, by the way. That's one of my top.
Yeah, same here. I like British Steel. I don't like the hits off of it. Breaking the Law, I kind of liked at the time, overplayed. Never like Living After Midnight.
Overplayed.
My album is Screaming for Vengeance.
Mine too.
That's
the
war with them and Iron Maiden back in 1982. Killer. It's like Priest goes through these little thing between albums. They had British Steel, and there was Point of Entry, and then it was then Scream for Vengeance. Between Point of Entry and Scream for Vengeance, it's like they locked themselves in the basement and woodshed it. It came out, and for 1982, it was just it's like and it's like, I still love it. And then the same thing when they came out with Painkiller. I'm listening to, okay, who is this? It's like it came out in 1990.
Yeah.
And I hear the song. I say, it sounds like Priest, but I heard the solo. And I said, wait, this sweet picking. And I go, this is kind of shreddy. I don't think Tipton can play like that. And Tipton and KK Downing. Yeah. And sure enough, they said, oh, a new one from Judas Priest. So I ran out, got the album. The whole album isn't that great, but Scott Travis, the drummer from Racer X, when he joined that, he gave that band a kick in the ass.
Big time. Yeah. You know what I was going to say about Priest? There's a lot of bands that they'll put out stuff like new stuff, and it's shit. Most of it is shit, right? Yeah. Judas Priest, Redeemer of Souls, and Firepower. I'll put those up against Screaming for Vengeance, British Steel.
When did those come out?
Oh man, the Firepower it was either last year or 2018.
Oh, okay.
And Redeemer of Souls was maybe a year before that, or 2 years.
Just tell you the truth, after Painkiller, I kind of tuned myself out of Judas Priest.
Dude, you gotta listen to those records, man. Those records will take you back to 1984.
Oh, okay. I gotta check that out.
That guy, that Richie, God, what's his last name?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Richie Faulkner. The guy who's working for KK. You talk about Scott Travis kicking them in the butt. That guy's kicked them in the butt. Now they're playing.
Oh, yeah, I think I've seen clips of him playing.
Oh man, he's a great player, and the guy's like he's more Judas Priest than Judas Priest, man. All the stuff he's bringing in, it's like holy shit. This guy grew up on Priest. He's a freaking disciple, man. Amazing.
Yeah, they played up in Worcester at the Jesus, called the Palladium up there. Yeah, a couple of years ago. I wanted to go see him. No one wanted to go see him. Really? And KK wasn't with him, but Tipton was still playing stuff. I
won't see them now that Tipton is sick.
Yeah, Parkinson's.
Yeah, I saw them once. I saw them with Richie. I was cool with that. And then like a year or two later, they came by with the Firepower record. They toured again, and they had this guy the guy who produced the album actually toured with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's playing the Tipton parts. And it's like, you know what, man? I'm like, and after I saw that, I go, that's it. I'm done with Priest. Like,
I'm really out of loop on the newer stuff. I mean, like,
well, me too. But it's, you know, I mean, but it's Priest.
mm-hmm.
Like they did that record, that God, that theme record. Oh shit, what's the name of it? Somebody in the chat will know. You know, they did that. The
Jugulator, Nosferatu.
That's it. Yeah, they did that.
Nostradamus.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember hearing that.
I'm sorry. No. Yeah, and I thought, okay, they're done. And then they came back with these two records, and they're like, it's like that record never even happened. Great.
Yeah, it's funny how pop culture or something, or this just, you know, well, it's not pop culture really, but how it just seeps into you. It's like, I know that album because it just got fed to me somewhere, you know, just information overload, whether I was on the internet or something like that. Never went out and sought an album. Same thing with Iron Maiden too. Past Somewhere in Time, I shut myself off from Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, 86 and before, I'm fine with. And I kind of move. Now, here's the thing with 80s, right? I found a lot of times I like 80s bands because of the guitar players, because not all the songs are really great, but, you know, I like Dokken. I used to like Kiss of Death on Back for the Attack. I mean, I always loved that song. That song kicked. Never really liked Don Dokken's voice. It was always a little too soft, I think, for that brand of, you know, metal or whatever. I used to like Tooth and Nail. I like the harder rock and stuff they did. But here's the thing with the 80s. Right? Past 86, I'm hard pressed to like any hymn. I wasn't a Warren fan. I wasn't a Poison fan. God, no. It's like what I always thought was that when 86 came out and, you know, the album came out, it's like, wow, look at these 4 chicks. Who are they? You know, it's like that. Look what the cat dragged in. Yeah. And the music really did nothing for me. I basically said to myself, well, it's kind of taking the hair metal before it and making a parody of it, kind of. And, you know, they wrote songs that, you know, could get the crowds, you know, going in the arenas and stuff like that. Just never floated my boat. I mean, from 86 on, well, I like Shotgun Messiah when they came out with, oh God, am I gonna Harry Cody playing guitar? What's the name? Geez, I'm drawing a blank. Boulevard. It came out in '91. So someone, Sandra knows this. She did the.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I didn't even know who Shotgun Messiah was until that song came out. And I liked Harry Cody, and he played on Stu Ham's King of Sleep album too. Mm-hmm. And I liked his playing and stuff. And you know, there was some past that. And another band I like to mention too, and I kind of got floored by this too, because I didn't know this back in the 80s, but you remember the band Dangerous Toys?
I know that. I don't know any of their music, but I've heard of the band.
Yeah, Jason McMaster, singer for them. He used to be in a band called Watchtower. Mm-hmm. If you want to go back to the 80s and listen to a band, it's like that's who influenced Dream Theater, basically, back then.
Okay.
And, you know, Dream Theater is off in their own land right now. You listen to an album, it's like, okay, it's like, but there was a time when, you know, they were a little more cohesive, if for lack of a better term. But anyways, you listen to Watchtower, it's coming from a harder rock thrash. It's a very dry production and stuff like that, but it's very progressive. And someone turned me on to that like around 10 years ago and said, oh yeah, that's Jason McMaster and Dangerous. Oh, really? You know, it's like, and yeah, that first Watchtower album is freaking amazing.
Yeah. I hear what you mean though about the 80s. Like, I mean, the later 80s. I was basically totally cashed out on Kiss at that point, and then you had like bands like Wasp.
Yeah, my brother was into them. I wasn't, because I didn't like the shtick. You know, it's like it's like, okay, yeah, Blackie has the saw blade on thing, and come up with the song with the F word in it, you know, and you know, it caused controversy. It just seemed too in your face, like it.
Oh yeah, Will. I was just gonna say, Gwar, was another one.
Yeah, well, I actually like Gwar. They started a punk band, and they went to more like metal and stuff. And yeah, they have a gimmick, but they started out as like they were all art students in Richmond, Virginia. And Dave Brocky, who's Odorous Urungus, he started the whole thing, and it was an art project basically. It started off as.
Oh, okay.
And they also were in a band called the X Cops. They all dressed like cops and stuff, and they'd open for themselves. But no, that was just for fun. It was just a totally fun band. I first learned of them in like 1990. I got one of these hard and heavy videotapes, which is like it just covers like metal from point A to point B.
Right.
And Gwar was on there. I go, wow, who the hell's this? And you look at them, they were like totally punk. It's like it's not doesn't even resemble the metal that they did afterwards. But you watch their videos like Phallus in Wonderland and Skullhead Face, and it's just sickeningly funny, But yeah, I like Gwar in that respect. I'm not going to say that they really did anything great for music or anything like that, but it's like people who follow the Dead, never into Grateful Dead. But if you go to a show, I never went to a show, but we have a band around here, Max Creek, that covers the Dead and stuff. And you get into that whole atmosphere, and you're under the right conditions, whether you're sucking on a nitrous balloon that they sell outside or something like that. Right. Space out and listen to it, and you can understand how people are into it. But
yeah,
I mean, if you listen to that Stone Cold Sober, it's not.
Yeah, and that's me, and I can't. I don't get the Dead. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, Jerry was a good musician, though. I mean, like, he played steel guitar, and anyone knows that steel guitar is a tough instrument. He played on Crosby, Stills, and Nash's and Young's "Teach Your Children Well." Teach Your Children. He plays steel guitar on that.
Yeah,
and, for the most part, his solos and stuff. Meander and stuff, but he knew what he was doing. Didn't like his guitar tone and stuff, and I never really got into him, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I never understood how people. My cousins, they all live in the next town over, North Smithfield. They're like the deadhead capital of the United States, other than San Francisco was. It's like, well, back in the day, if you were from North Smithfield, if you didn't listen to the Dead, you didn't belong. They were all deadheads.
Yeah. Hey, Great Vanzini is here. Hey, man. I didn't say hello. Hey,
Great.
All right. We're coming around to full 2 hours here. So I'm running out of gas here. So yeah, I'm getting tired. So any last things you wanted to mention? Any last things you wanted to say, Krell?
Yeah, well,
what you got coming up?
I'd like to thank the community. I mean, this is just so great. And I think people can understand, you go to high school, you have your friends and stuff. Then you graduate, and then for a number of years, your friends are pretty close still. Then you go your separate ways and stuff. And, your best friends and everything. I literally have two best friends. One literally lives like 2 miles from me and stuff I haven't seen in a year. And another one lives even closer that I haven't seen since March of 2019 and stuff. You get involved in lives and stuff. And so you kind of miss the camaraderie and stuff like that, hanging out and stuff. This community essentially does that. You see people, you talk to them, you get to know them. And, it literally is, they call them a hangout, it's literally a hangout.
Yeah.
And it's lots of good people in here, for the most part, people don't fly off the handle. Everyone's mellow.
Everybody's cool.
And, every now and then you get some yo-yo coming in, trying to crash the chat. And, but it's the internet.
So far, we've been lucky here today. So far, so good.
And I want to thank people for the praise they gave me earlier. Again, it's like that. That was nice. And like I said, there's always a little trepidation, before I did something like this. I haven't gone live on the internet ever. And
I appreciate you. I asked you and you said, yeah. I'm like, okay, this is going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, hey, here's a lesson to everyone out there. And, I've achieved certain things in life. And the thing is that I've had to create my own opportunities. A lot of times I think I've had to work, twice, 3 times as hard. And, I see many people squander opportunities. My advice to people is any opportunity you get to do something, even if you have second thoughts or anything, it's like, do it. Fall flat on your face. It's an experience because you're just going to regret not doing it. And anytime you take charge of an opportunity, you see so many success stories. They say hard work leads to success. That's part of it. It's not a guarantee. There's a bit of luck, and you have to create your own luck with opportunities. Any opportunity you get, you do it. You don't know who you're going to run into doing it. You don't know who's going to see it and stuff. I mean, someone could see this tonight, look at you, look at someone in chat and go, hey, this add to it. I like this. Oh, I like this guy's look. I like this guy's sense of humor. I like this. You know what? I need some voiceover work for this. I need, you never know when something like that's going to happen. It's not going to happen if you sit on your ass and don't take advantage of every opportunity. And I'm guilty of it too. There were some opportunities I passed by when I was younger. They weren't huge ones, but I find that it opens doors. And so getting back to doing this, I was hesitant about it at first, saying, do I really want to go on the internet and stuff? Or am I going to look like a tool? Here's the thing. It's like, am I going to put my foot in my mouth? And I said, fuck it, Jim. Just do it.
You'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's what I told you. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So that's the end of my inspirational speech. And that's an opportunity. If I ever start doing content, the thing is, I may start doing content if I can find something new to offer. It's a thing. I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. So if I find something, I may start doing content. And so, so maybe I'll do an inspirational channel.
Yeah. The Tony Robbins Crowbar.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, a little bit of bullshit goes a long way.
There you go. Well, I want to thank Crow for coming on. This was cool. It was great to have you on, man. We'll do this again. If you want to do it again.
Yeah, sure. I mean, you can't ask the same questions. I think I wore that out. Maybe I could show a few different guitars.
Yeah, or we can get all nerdy. I don't know. One thing we found out is we both worked in the same industry for a while, so we can get pretty nerdy about electronic stuff. So.
Yeah, and like I say, it's like practically like troubleshooting stuff. I'm way out of practice on that. It's like you got to keep up on that stuff. And stuff I do is electronics based, but we were talking wire and cable design, but it's not as heady as getting into a circuit board and troubleshooting.
Yeah.
You got to keep up with that and stuff. But yeah, I know enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'll say one more thing too, and it's like I'm pretty sure that Brian S is probably saying, you know what, I want to get this guy in the live wire so I can make him look like an idiot. And I say, bring it on. Bring it on.
There you go. You heard it here, folks. So next week, I'm still waiting on confirmation for a guest for next Thursday's show. I'll let you know.
Thanks, Dale.
But there should be somebody coming up next week. I have a confirmation for my guest 2 weeks from now, and that show is going to be fantastic. I promise you. Total geeky guitar stuff. If you're interested, check out the show in 2 weeks. All right, folks, have a great night. Thank you all so much. Thanks, Krelbar, for hanging out. This was a lot of fun.
Upside down, that's the only time he beat me to saying keep your stick on the ice.
Keep your stick on.
He never beats me to that, but because I got the chat over here, I'm not signed in. He beat me this time.
There you go. All right.
Congratulations.
Have a great night, everybody. Rock on. Cheers.